I don't have a lot of energy for kirtan, but maybe a little japa.
Japa, good.
Yeah.
Your books are all up there.
They're all up here?
That's where they were,
Yeah.
unless you moved them. Because this morning you couldn't find your books, and I remember seeing them all up there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll look again.
Okay.
Ready? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hey, Tuka, welcome. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. We'll just do a little japa and maybe read a little bit here. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hey, Francis, welcome. Thank you for coming. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Lance, welcome. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Rama Hari Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Rama Hari Hari Jesus, Srila Prabhupada, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita, Gadadhar, Srivasadi, Gora, Bhaktivinoda, Jesus, Srila Prabhupada, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita, Gadadhar, Srivasadi, Gora, Bhaktivinoda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita, Gadadhar, Srivasadi, Gora, Bhaktivinoda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya. 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Hare Krishna, Cole and Francis and Jocelyn. Jocelyn, welcome from the Philippines. All right. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya. 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna, oh my Lord.
Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Bona Chan Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari
Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama
Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. All right, so Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Krishna. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Sri Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhaktavinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Sri Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhaktavinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Sri Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhaktavinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Sri Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhaktavinda.
This is Hansa Duda by Rupa Goswami. May that certain blissful person in a splendid yellow garments, may a certain blissful person in splendid yellow garments, the souls of his lotus feet, glorious as a host of red roses, and his form dark like a tamal tree, and his mouth playfully curved in a gentle smile, appear in my heart. May a certain blissful person, in splendid yellow garments, the soles of his lotus feet glorious as a host of red roses, his form dark as a tamal tree, and his mouth playfully and his mouth playfully curved in a gentle smile, appear in my heart. At the request of Akura, Krishna and Balaram left the house of Nanda Maharaj. At the request of Akura, Krishna and Balaram left the house of Nanda Maharaj for Mathura. At that time, Srimati Radharani's mind was disrupted. and she became almost mad because of extreme separation from Krishna. At that time, at that time, at that time, Srimati Radharani's mind was disrupted, and she became almost mad because of extreme separation from Krishna. She experienced great mental pain and agitation, which caused her to drown in mental speculation in the river of anxiety. At that time, Srimati Radharani's mind was disrupted, and she became almost mad because of extreme separation from Krishna. She experienced a great mental pain and agitation, which caused her to drown in mental speculation in a river of anxiety. Uh, 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 uh. One day, when Srimati Radharani was feeling much affection because of her separation from Krishna, one day when Srimati Radharani was feeling much affliction because of her separation from Krishna, she went to the bank of the Yamuna with some of her friends. There, Radharani saw a cottage where she and Krishna had experienced many loving pleasures. And by remembering those incidents, she immediately became overcome with dizziness. The dizziness was very prominently visible. One day, when Srimati Radharani was feeling much affliction because of separation from Krishna, she went to the bank of the Yamuna with some of her friends. There, Radharani saw there. Ah, there Radharani saw a cottage where she and Krishna had experienced many loving pleasures. And remembering those incidents, she immediately became overcome with dizziness. This dizziness was very prominently visible. Uh, uh, Fallen in the dust and her limbs motionless, she was surrounded by her friends, holding lotuses, their hearts out of love filled with hundreds of fears, and their tears flooding the Yamuna's waves. Fallen in the dust and her limbs motionless, fallen in the dust and her limbs motionless, she was surrounded by friends, holding lotuses, their hearts out of love filled with hundreds of fears, and their tears flooding the Yamuna's waves. Ah. When her limbs, resting on Lilita's breast, were fanned with many lotus petals, cool with the Yamuna water, and her throat moved with the sprout of a breath, her watching friends made a joyful sound. When her limbs, resting on Lilita's breast, were fanned with many lotus petals, cool with the Yamuna's water, and her throat moved with the sprout of a breath, and her watching friends made a joyful sound. Placing Radha on a bed of lotus petals, placing Radha on a bed of lotus petals. To fetch some water, Lalita put her feet on the path. On the Yamuna's shore, she saw a graceful and sweetly warbling white swan and approached her. Placing Radha on a bed of lotus petals. To fetch some water, Lalita put her feet on the path. On the Yamuna's shore, she saw a graceful and sweetly warbling white swan and approached her. Her heart encouraged by seeing the swan, anxious Lalita cautiously approached it, respectfully bowed before it, and praised it. She thought the graceful swan an ideal messenger to carry a letter to Lord Hari's assembly. Wrapped in the anger of love for Krishna, she told the swan of her desires. She is not at fault for speaking to a bird. Where will a girl overcome with love for Lord Hari not place her faith? You live in pure waters. You find happiness amongst lotus stems. You live in pure waters, and you find happiness in lotus stems. Your heart is pure. For this reason, I, a very unhappy woman, take shelter of you. A request to a saintly person is never fruitless. Forgetting us who are tormented by the flames of separation of Krishna. Forgetting us who are tormented by the flames of separation from Krishna. Artistic Krishna happily lives in Mathura. Artistic Krishna happily lives in Mathura. Please place this message in your heart and at once put it on the path to his ears. Please place this message in your heart and place it on the path to his ears. May all obstacles be cast aside. May all obstacles be cast aside, and may your path be easy. Placing happiness and mercy in your heart, rise at once. The running and playing Gopa boys will gaze at you with wide open eyes. May all obstacles be cast aside. May your path be easy. Placing happiness and mercy in your heart, rise at once. The running and playing of the Gopa boys will gaze at you with wide open eyes. O Tilak of the saintly devotees, taking the path famous in all the worlds, by which hard-hearted Akura quickly took away the ocean of handsomeness that rules the young gopis' lives. Go to the city of the Dasaras. O Tilak of saintly devotees, taking the path famous in all the worlds, by which hard-hearted Akura quickly took away the ocean of handsomeness that rules the young gopis' lives. Go to the city of Dasaras. O passionate lover of your swan mate, go by the path of the chariot touched by Lord Hari's feet, a path where the dear-eyed gopis, a flood of tears streaming down their pale cheeks, were tortured by Kamadev. O passionate lover of your swan mate, go by the path of the chariot touched by Lord Hari's feet, a path where the dear-eyed gopis, a flood of tears streaming down their pale cheeks, were tortured by Kamadev. Sip the sweet, Jambu dark Yamuna water. Eat some lotus stems soft and splendid as the moonlight. For a moment rest under a great tree, and then, O friend, happily go to the city of the Vrishnis. Sip the sweet Jambu dark Yamuna water. Eat some lotus stems soft and splendid as the moonlight. For a moment rest under a great tree, and then, O friend, happily go to the city of the Vrishnis. Fly over the path where the passionate crying gopis followed their lover as he went on Akura's chariot, and you will become the greatest of swans. Fly over the path where the passionate crying gopis followed their lover as he went on Akura's chariot, and you will become the greatest of swans. O King of the Swans, please stay for a moment on this Kadamba tree full of new leaves. The tree of Lord Hari climbed when to flood us with the waves of secret love. He suddenly stole our garments. O King of the Swans, please stay for a moment on the Kadamba tree full of new leaves. The tree Lord Hari climbed when to flood us with waves of secret love. He suddenly stole our garments. The Rasalila place, a place where dancing broke out, where dancing broke the jasmine vines, a place dark with musk fallen from the vines, the vine forms of the splendid playful gopis, a place where a person crowned with peacock feathers, dressed in garments splendid as gold, his dark limbs, his limbs dark as a tamal tree, filling all directions with glorious handsomeness, flooding the world with waves of bliss, in his mouth kissing a simple flute, made wonderful music, will put joy in your heart. The Rasalila place, a place where the dancing broke the jasmine vines, a place dark with musk fallen from the vine forms of the dark, splendid and playful gopis, a place where a person crowned with peacock feathers, dressed in garments splendid as gold, his limbs dark as a tamal tree, filling all directions with glorious handsomeness, flooding the world with waves of bliss, and his mouth kissing a simple flute, made wonderful music, will put joy in your heart. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Gauranga 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 Gauranga. Oh my Lord, Gauranga. Gauranga, 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 Gauranga. Gauranga, 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 Gauranga. Gauranga, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Gauranga, Gauranga, Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda, Jesus, Jesus, Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada, Jai Jesus, Jai Srila Prabhupada, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna. Oh my Lord, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Oh my Lord, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Oh my Lord, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Is this black tea or is it herb tea?
Oh, that's sweetened.
Yeah,
It's
but is
good.
it black tea or is
No.
it? No, it's herb tea.
No caffeine.
No
Herb
caffeine
tea.
in this one. Good.
No caffeine.
Okay. Yes. Bhagavad Gita. We'll read a few verses from Bhagavad Gita. Little nightcap. I think Rupa Goswami is a Manjari. Very, very stony. Well, let's see here. Knowledge of the Absolute. Chapter 7, Bhagavad Gita. Thank you guys for hanging in there. Still got 5 people. That's great. All right. So, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Now hear, O son of Prita, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt." The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Now hear, O son of Prita, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with the mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt." Let's look at the word for word. Actually, you know what I should? Let me see if I can find this other version here. Hare Krishna. Yeah, I'll read Prabhupada's version here. Bhagavad Gita as it is. I'm going to read the verse again. This is from Prabhupada's version. "Now, hear, O son of Prita, now by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt." See, this is the problem. You know, one of the big obstacles to realizing God, Krishna, is I, me, and mind. See, so everybody is being in full consciousness of the me, the me in the world. You know, the false ego. See, that imitates God. See, so everybody's unfortunately too much conscious of that me. See, and that's what puts people in illusion, makes them unhappy. See, so and this way, that's yoga means unite. You know, so people are uniting with the false ego, and it just causes nothing but distress and pain and illusion and delusion and inauspiciousness. See, because they don't know, you know, that there's a big me. The big me, you know, see, you use the same word, right? Me. So it either represents the false ego or the true ego, you know, the truth, you know, the Supreme Lord. See, he's the one we should be in full conscious of. Otherwise, we become too conscious of all the false egos in the world. All it does is create misery and suffering and distress for everybody. Yeah. So word for word. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, the Supreme Lord said, Mayi, unto me, see, unto me, unto Krishna, mind attached. See, mind attached, O son of Prita. See, so unto me, mind attached to me. So that attachment means feeling, see? Taste. See, so and this gives us the impudence. It gives us the motivation. If we're trying to like unite with the Lord and there's no attachment, then there's a problem. And this is what the idea is. You have a bona fide spiritual master is where you get that attachment. You get this bhakti lata bij. That's the seed of this attachment to Krishna. See, Krishna is transcendental. See, so you need to be impregnated by the word. The word is basically comes from a devotee who's attached to that word. See, attached to that truth, attached to Krishna, the big me. See, like this, and that's what we need. Otherwise, it's very hard. And then it's very hard to worship Krishna because you got to do it by force instead of just by attraction. So that's really the purpose of Krishna consciousness, is to get this bhakti lata bij, because that's where our devotion grows, from that attachment. Without that attachment, it's like it's like nothing really going on. It's just mundane, material, ceremonial. Maybe that's okay to start, but you want to get some attachment to Krishna, some transcendental attachment. See, and that comes by association. See, so now, here, O son of Prita. Oh, wait. Mind attached. Partha, O son of Prita. Yogam, means self-realization. See, self-realization is yoga. See, true yogi. Yogi is a yogi. It means self-realization, self-realized soul, because you made the union. See, you made the connection. You tied the link. You made the link, linking up. See, self-realization and yogam means the same thing. Otherwise, you're trying to unite with the Lord. You see, people are chanting, and you try, well, I'm going to chant one lakh. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Have you united with the Lord? Well, I'm chanting his name. Yeah, but you have to have that attachment. That causes this unite, causes the meeting. It causes the appreciation. Without attachment, we have no appreciation for Krishna. We don't really know him. This is why Jesus said to the woman at the well, you don't know who you worship. We do. We worship in spirit and in truth. Spirit is this attachment. Truth is the Lord, is the truth about the Lord, conclusive, absolute truth. And the spirit is this, it's spirited, it has life. That's that attachment, that's the devotion. This Sangha is supra mundane. Yeah. Transcendental, simple, and blissful. Exactly. Supra mundane. Beyond, transcends the mundane. Yeah. O son of Prita, yogam, self-realization, yun jan, so practicing. So you got to practice it. See, so ultimately you're meant to meet the devotees who are attached to the Lord. They are more advanced in that attachment. See, so they help us really do not just devotional service in practice without the taste, but devotional service in practice with the taste. And then the bhakti grows. It gets stronger and stronger. Then it becomes more natural. Natural to think about Krishna. Because you're attached. You think about what you're attached to, right? You ever think about the world? That's because you're attached to it, usually, right? Think about your sons and daughters and dogs and cats and all whatever, because you're attached. Well, that happens with Krishna too. You practice, and if you want the fast track, is you just understand what we're talking about in the class here, because it's everything the book is always talking about, always the same thing. Associate with real devotees. See, and by that you develop some attachment to Krishna through their association. But ultimately, real devotees, who are self-realized, the yogam, see, self-realized. They made the union, made the connection. They're advanced in their attachment. Because Krishna is transcendental. It's actually not easy to be attached to Krishna because he's transcendental to the modes of nature. People are usually, they're deeply attached to things in the world which are material, and that disqualifies us for attachment to the Lord. Yeah, so it's very hard to develop attachment to the Lord. Lord Chaitanya said that too. Yeah, it's very hard to develop attachment to the Lord. Now, prema, see, prema, bhakti, see, devotion with prema, with love, with ecstasy, with devotion, pure devotion, ecstatic love. Very hard to develop that. He taught this in Chaitanya Bhagavat. Then he looked over at Nityananda. Oh, but, if you get the association and mercy of Nityananda, okay, then it's very easy to develop this prema. Okay? That's all the books are saying that. Bible's saying that. Bible was saying that before Jesus, but nobody heard it. Nobody could understand that. Yeah, Prabhupada's book's been saying that, even before, he came. All these Vedas always say the same thing, but nobody gets it until it's preached, till the truth will set you free. You think, you could just preach it right off. But see, to preach this, you have to show what it is to worship the Lord in spirit and truth, with this spirit of devotion. And not everybody's going to accept. They don't know what it is. It seems crazy. It's so different. And don't people want to follow the herd in the world? Yeah. Isn't that what the masses are doing? Following the herd, following the authorities, right? And the authorities in religion and in the world are usually not very good in this material world. They're all pretty illusioned, more or less. They don't do a great job. As we know, you look at I've just been noticing the state of affairs of people ruling the world, and they're not doing a great job. Look at religion, they're not really doing a great. What's doing a great job is get people attached to Krishna. Now that's doing a great job. That's doing a fantastic job. That's doing the best job. That's the best welfare work you can do, is to get people attached to transcendental Krishna. But you got to be empowered to do it. You got to be attached yourself. Okay? And then you got to practice in front of the world, even though they spit at you and laugh at you and call you Sahaja and all these other things. Okay? So that's why they start out with Vaidhi Bhakti, to get a whole bunch of devotees into the Vaishnavism all over the world. Get them following rules, regulations, and do, like external bhakti. And then ultimately, by reading Prabhupada's books and taking pilgrimages, chanting, doing their dry 16 rounds. Then gradually, when they really want more, see, they're thinking, well, this kind of falls 2 fingers too short, Here I'm trying to catch Krishna on my own strength, my own chanting, and chanting with gurus who haven't realized Krishna. They haven't made the yogam, the union yet. They're not tied the knot. They don't have prema, really, So I tried going this way and said, I want more, and then Krishna will reveal his associate that gets you finishes it, gets you attached to the Lord. Okay? And then, you pick up the books and you can, the Lord is in you now. See, it's not just we're in the Lord, we're in Krishna, but he's not in us. Now we're in Krishna, and he's in us because you came to the devotee who is one of the rare persons that Krishna is actually in, awakened in. Otherwise, he's dormant. So the Lord says, I'm in that person, but I don't consider it because he's not aware of me. What kind of relationship is that? I'm in them, and they never even give me any attention. They don't even care about me. They're just looking out there at their wives and their dogs and their cats and their family and their friends and their politics and considering enemies and friends and no attention for me. Okay? So it's like he says, well, I'm in them, but not. Because they're not aware of me, so it's almost like I'm not there, right? No reality, no real. It's not real, It's just, you may even read the verse, Bhagavad Gita and all these great verses and everything, and the Lord doesn't awaken in you, or his bliss doesn't awaken in you, so he's not quite in you yet. Okay? That's why you need to meet the real devotees, see real, and they teach you these deeper truths, because the Lord teaches them these deeper truths. They made the yogam. See, they're self-realized. Okay? And it doesn't matter what they wear. They could be a sannyasi, they could be a sudra, they could be a vaishya, they could be a kshatriya. Yeah. So what really matters is, can you identify a person that Krishna is in? Can you see their uncommon nature? Can you see their uncommon knowledge? Can you see their uncommon spirit of bliss and ecstasy? Can you recognize that? Okay. Because if you recognize that, and then you kind of fix yourself there, then you get very easily attached to Krishna. And then it's like you want to read these books. You want to chant Hare Krishna. You want to meditate on the Lord. Because it's your life and soul now. You realize, you get purified by that attachment, and you just practice. See, practice. It's much more easy now. You just, you start to want to wake up and chant in the morning, not like, oh God, I got to get up. What am I going to look for? Oh, I have to chant. Oh, I got to go to this. I got to do this. Oh, that's because of lack of attachment. Yeah. So anyway, ultimately, if you understand what we're talking about here, and then you say, oh, okay, that's what it's about. They get attached to Krishna, and the easiest way is to be around devotees who have that attachment. I mean, transcendental attachment, and they have uncommon symptoms. They have uncommon knowledge. You could see they know more than a person that could be a guru, a sannyasi, or a Brahmin, but they don't have that deep knowledge and that deep ecstasy. You never see it. See? So you don't get this perspective unless you associate with such devotees where you get experience. You start to see, your eyes are opened, and that's how you learn. See, with people in the world, they're not associating with self-realized souls because they're rare in Vaishnavism right now. Oh, they say they're self-realized. Oh, yeah, these are great. Wow. But you don't see any symptoms of being a great devotee. It's just talk. It's just, it's like, in the past times, they were going around. Pundraka was, like being a great soul or acting like a great soul. He had he had two arms, right? Like everybody else. And he had two false ones in the back. And he maintained a distance from people so they couldn't, see exactly, that they were actually false. And he looked like look-alike, imitation, just like people imitate the Vaishnavas. Very humble. But inside, they're not really. They don't know. As soon as a real Vaishnava comes, they become jealous, or they become hateful, or they become lie. They start to false witness and lie and stuff like this. This is how the world is, isn't it? A lot of that stuff going on. It's one of the obstacles. We help remove that one. It's like pulling teeth sometimes, You got a bad tooth, you got to pull it out, man. It's in the way, right? Causing you pain. See? So ultimately, that's how you know. You got to be around ultimately real devotees. They got to be preaching. They got to be teaching. And if you get their association, and because you almost have to exhaust all your other avenues to start listening to devotees, because people believe in some form of illusion, usually one illusion or another. They either believe in the persons that are kind of demigod types, charismatic, but they're not really Krishna conscious. Krishna conscious means Krishna's in you, and now you become conscious of that Supreme Lord. You're connected. You have made the union. Super easy, natural way. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. See, the words of devotees who are deeply attached to Krishna are like light. They illuminate the path. Otherwise, you can't see. The Lord illuminates their path, and they speak to you and illuminate your path. See, that's a bona fide guru. Is they get the revelation, see, from the Lord, because they have that realization, that yogam. They made the union now. The Lord is their intimate friend. They're an intimate servant of the Lord. The maintainer of the Lord. And that's being guru, you're actually maintaining the Lord. The Lord is in the hearts of everybody. It's a great privilege to be a spiritual master. The Lord is giving himself to you in the form of disciples. Otherwise, they won't, that. So, if you can deliver them, that's the best thing. But usually it takes a few tries. You have to go to different, So ultimately you get the bona fide guru. See, Prabhupada's books defines what a bona fide guru is, but most don't know what it is. And the bottom line is, if you really know, then that's who you're with. Otherwise, if you're with that somebody's not bona fide, you don't understand. See, that's the problem. You cannot see, it's by the action. See, chapter 1 of Adi Lila, by the action of the book Bhagavat and the devotee Bhagavat. The action is what? Talking about Krishna, talking about these verses, illuminating these verses. Okay, so that it becomes crystal clear for others, because they look at the verses and they speculate. Or the gurus look at the verses, they speculate, and then they give you speculation. So how are you being delivered? You're both caught in a sand trap. See? So you got to meet a person that is genuinely in deep union with the Lord, in ecstatic union. That's the only thing that purifies their heart enough to understand these verses. Only the pure in heart can understand Srimad Bhagavatam, right? So why wouldn't you want to be around a person whose heart is purified? Okay? And it is only this ecstatic devotion that purifies the heart. Not being a Brahmin is not enough. Look at Daksha. He was a perfect Brahmin, and he couldn't understand the Bhagavatam because he couldn't understand. If you understand the Bhagavatam, you know who is a pure devotee. You know where to take shelter. You know how to take shelter of Krishna. Okay? If you understand the Bhagavatam, and he didn't. It's not good enough to be a Brahmin. So he didn't know that Lord Shiva was the devotee Bhagavat. Regardless of what he wore or anything, he had the symptoms of being a devotee Bhagavat. Okay? Devotee Bhagavat can go anywhere. They're Paramahamsa. They can go in bars. They can go anywhere. They can eat this or anything. And Shiva was like that. It didn't pollute him because he had an ecstatic, loving relationship with God. When you have that, the Lord is in your heart. He awakens and purifies, volumes of poisons, anything. Didn't Shiva drink an ocean of poison? Mm-hmm. See, Daksha couldn't acknowledge that because of envy and jealousies and all this. See, it's not enough to be a Brahmin and teach the Vedas. Your heart has to be purified by bhakti, and that you have the symptoms of understanding the Bhagavatam. Pretty simple, huh? If you're simple. Yeah. So in consciousness of me. So we become conscious of Krishna when we become attached. Otherwise, we're unconscious of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. No attachment. You're unconscious. Hey, but, it's great. You're chanting. That's something. But you're not conscious. See, even by, like the Bhagavatam says, even by unconsciously chanting of the holy name. Unconscious means, Hare Krishna, I chant my 16 rounds. Okay, what's the next activity? Prasadam. Oh, boy. Ooh. Hey, you're attached to that, huh? See, unconsciously chanting the holy name. See? Now, when you're attached to the Lord, now you're becoming conscious of the Lord. See, because of attachment. Attachment is that seed of bhakti, seed of devotion, bhakti lada bij. See? And as that increases, you become more conscious of Krishna. See, more understanding. And this goes on forever. Never stops, never get bored. It's not, he's always an ever fresh new book to study, to taste, to be enlivened by. His beauty. It's like we read the gopis. Krishna's handsomeness, his beauty, is their path, their life, their purification, their inspiration, is everything to them. That attachment to his handsomeness, that transcendental lust to be close to Krishna, as their beloved. See, so yeah. I love these verses. These are great. Huh? Yeah, so practicing in consciousness of me. See, conscious. See this. So Krishna is giving bhakti lada bij to Arjuna in this way. But Arjuna heard, and he became very attracted to Krishna. He became attracted to talks of Krishna. See, more than him being attracted to Krishna himself, just like Rukmini said. He became more attracted to Krishna speaking about the truth than himself. Okay? It is himself, but it's just very attractive to hear talks of Krishna, and so that's how he got it. He became very attached to hearing about these truths coming from Krishna's mouth that he never heard before. It's like now, isn't that kind of interesting? A lot of new stuff coming.
Constantly.
Constantly. Never stops. Yeah. So without doubt. Now so the more, when we get attached to, the more attached we are to Krishna, the more we overcome doubt, because you get experience. You realize, Krishna is real. Yeah. Otherwise, you're always pushing doubt away. Yeah. Or you don't, so the more attached we are to Krishna, the more we learn, we realize him. See? And it becomes real, more and more real. See? Because of that, practice hearing, chanting, remembering Krishna, the Lord, in association with those who are devotees. Even new people, if you don't understand, you think this is not sectarian, because it's a universal. If you want to know Jesus Christ, it's the same principle. You got to associate with those who are deeply in love with Christ, Jesus Christ. And you associate with them and you hear from them. See? And then you get that attachment through them. See, by their association. That's how it was passed on, wasn't it? When Jesus, those 11 were attached to Jesus. See, to the point where the spirit of devotion awoke in their hearts, the Holy Spirit. And that attachment was transferred to others who associated with them, who heard from them. Hey, man, same thing for you Vaishnavas. Vaishnavas, same process. You got to find somebody deeply, ecstatically attached to Krishna. And that's pretty rare right now. Okay? And that's why people, they come here, they say, well, yeah, I accept these teachings and this truth, and I'm going this way. And their attachment for the Lord is growing and before the public. That's your witness. If I'm not bona fide, if I wasn't authorized by Prabhupada, if I'm just giving you a bunch of BS, then this stuff wouldn't work. But look at how many of those thousands of gurus in ISKCON, how many are generating deep attachment beyond just, like forcing yourself to do devotional service by force, and you're just doing it as an austerity. Okay? And it's not just fun, like, wow, man, it's so nice to be with Krishna. Boy, nice to chant your name, man. I feel really enthusiastic. I feel inspired to do it. Okay. So anyway, any attachment you have is very wonderful. If you're attached to chanting, that's great. Okay. And so the bottom line is, if your intelligence is growing, you'll want to be around those who are also attached, and especially to the point of ecstasy, where the tears come and the choking and the laughter and the going into trance. You just become like, of course, that's the place to be. That's where I'm going to really develop my Krishna consciousness, right? Mm-hmm. This becomes like common sense. Why should I chant around those, I don't care whether they're gurus, sannyasis, or Brahmins, and don't cry for Krishna? Don't laugh because of Krishna's association. Don't have all these devotional symptoms described in the books, or at least some of them. Why would I want to accept them as my door to Vrindavan, where devotees are like that? You got to find some devotees who are like the devotees in Vrindavan, but here in this world and preaching attachment to Krishna. That's called Raganuga Bhakti. Not devotional service in practice of rules and regulations. It's devotional service because of attachment to Krishna, because Krishna is your happiness. You only can get that by a devotee whose happiness is Krishna's transcendental name, form, pastimes. Only way to really get it. Otherwise, it's external bhakti. Hey, external, yeah. So that's what Ramananda Roy taught in this conversation with Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya was bored he said, when Ramananda Roy said, follow the rules and regulations of Varnashram Dharma, the Lord was bored. He says, that's external bhakti. Tell me something better, quicker, more, deeper. I'm greedy. I want to know more. And then when Ramananda Roy started to please the Lord, see, you feel that in your heart, he said, okay, well then just go and associate and hear about Krishna from a self-realized soul. Okay? That is really the best path. Go in here, and then and you can stay in any position, but just go and associate with such a devotee. You'll please the Lord just by associating and hearing them, because they got the right understanding. See, they've realized Krishna. They have ecstatic love of God. They have devotion to Krishna, or devotion to Jesus Christ. We don't have to, devotion to Ram. Whoever you're attracted to. What are you a sheep of? Are you a sheep of Jesus Christ? Are you a sheep of Krishna or Lord Chaitanya or Lord Ram? We'll go find a devotee deeply attached to one of those deities. Or better yet, all of them. Like a Narada Muni, he likes them all. Of course he has his preferences. We all have preferences. Yeah, this is the real door. I mean, when you're ready to are you ready to finish it? How many more trips into this hellish what do you call this future? They're envisioning now. They're getting the masses ready for. How many more of these times do you want to come into this? A lot of people thought they were happy here in this world. Everything was going nice. These people are, they're just living their lives, and they have their wives and their children, and it's so great and everything. And now this happens. They lose their businesses and jobs. What is this? This is America. All of a sudden, your Bill of Rights you thought you had, and the Constitution. Oh yeah, we didn't tell you. We were just let you have that for a while, but now we're yanking it away because it was just a privilege. You were privileged then. Now the privilege, we take it away. Oh, you thought this was the United States of America was America. No, it's actually a corporation, and you're our workers, and you do what we say now. See? Yeah, how many births do you want to come back like this? And everything is going sort of good in the material world, and then this happens. This is great for preaching. Oh, this is fantastic. Because I just, said, this is now your face reality. You ready to surrender? We'll teach you how to surrender to Krishna. Yeah. Just surrender to this word, and you won't have to do it. You'll want to do it if you pay attention. If you're eager, when a fire is on, a fire is coming at you, right? And that's this world the way it is now. If you just kind of run in this direction over here, check it out. You might find that your heart will surrender to the truth, because otherwise you're surrendering to that. You want to surrender that fire and burn up that illusion, these persons, these hypocrites and liars and cheaters. It's just the Lord's external potency. They're caught up in it. The fire's lit now. Hey man, how about come through this door? Come learn about the real Krishna. That goes for you, Vaides, also, that you're learning about Krishna. Are you all masked up now? Are you believing in that bullshit? And that goes for these Christian ministers. A lot of them, they believe that in the lies and the cheating that's being taught now. Yeah, you want to be sacrificed? That's what you do. You believe in the liars and lies and everything. You're headed to be sacrificed. Yeah. Or do you want to do this sacrifice? Very easy one. Very nice. Liberate your soul. No more coming back to something like this. So this is wake up call, isn't it? Wake up. It's like, hey man, you ready to wake up? See what's before you? Yeah, or do you want to come into the kingdom of God and leave this thing forever? That's what's here. That's what's in our Sangha. We're here to bring people into the kingdom of God. That's the order I got. I have no other business here. Prabhupada gave me the business. He said, now you do God's business. Now you help teach people what you learned by all that ecstatic chanting I was doing for years before Prabhupada appeared and gave the order. And then after that too, everything gets more and more clear, and you get the clarity of somebody that chants the name in ecstasy. How many gurus are chanting the name in ecstatic love that you can see? In real devotion with the tears and everything you read in the scriptures. See? So they can't take you very far. See? The devotees who chant the holy names with great ecstatic love give you entrance into the kingdom of Vrindavan. Isn't that the verse Johann repeats every day? Right? He quotes it up there. It's not by austerity, not by mantra yoga, mantra meditation, which is basically dry chanting, or chanting these long mantras in Vaishnavas. You notice they do a lot of blah, 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 blah. Not to put it down, but it's not by that you get Vrindavan. It's more simple than that. It's not by renunciation and fasting and all that you get Vrindavan. Not by that. No, it's through. See, through the door, through the devotees who chant the names of Krishna with great ecstatic devotion. See? Great attachment, deep attachment. That is visible. If it's invisible, maybe you're being bluffed. You want to spend your whole life being, bluffed. A person has a pair of deuces in poker. They got a pair of deuces, and they're looking like, wow, I got a straight flush. I got a straight flush. I got a straight flush, and they only got a pair of deuces. But then when the life comes around, the end of life, and the hand is laid down, and you don't have, your guru didn't win. He lost. He was a loser. See, hey man, you better study Prabhupada's books to the point where at least you can begin to recognize and you cry out to get the association of a realized soul who is empowered to deliver you. What do they deliver? They deliver Krishna. They deliver you you're just people. When you're not, you must be born again to enter the kingdom of God. The bona fide spiritual master he's a deliverer, right? He's like a doctor, delivers the baby. That baby is in you. It's in the lower centers. Needs to be raised up. See, the rising of Krishna in the heart is to be raised up. See, so only the devotees whose energy, whose life force is raised up into love of God can do this delivery work. So are you ready for that, or you want to just kind of just ceremoniously do your sadhana and austerities and renunciations and very difficult stuff, and then at your end of life there you get your reward? Okay, maybe you're going to be a demigod or something. I don't know, but doesn't float my boat. Francis says, thank you so much. Watch the replay. Mm-hmm. Good. All right, let's see what else we can do. What time is it? Oh, it's almost 8 o'clock. That's my bedtime.
Wow. That went fast.
It did. It did. It does always. Completely unto me. Yeah. See, yeah. Without doubt. So, okay. In consciousness of me, without doubt, completely unto me. See, completely, and that's surrender. And that becomes like you want to do that. It's not like, oh, I have to surrender. No, your heart, when you start to get free of doubt. This is another thing. You're encouraged by real devotees, and you get free from doubt more easily. They're encouraged. You can see, oh, this, my guru or my like here we have a lot of devotees that are getting free of doubt because they're getting actual experience of love of Krishna. See, the love is awakening, the devotion, and all the symptoms, the tears, the laughter, and all of that. And it makes Krishna real, not only for them, but for others coming here. Otherwise, like Krishna said, in that conversation in Sri and Gita Amrita is really good. Krishna says, bhakti is king, bhakti is best, and everything. And then Arjuna says, well, isn't everybody doing it if it's king and so great? And what did Krishna say? He says, because they've got no faith in this. See, bhakti is king. You want to know bhakti is king? Well, you got to experience that. If you're with real devotees, then you understand. Otherwise, you don't have faith. See, it's not enough on the Vaidhi level just to follow rules and regulations and ceremoniously worship Krishna or God or Jesus even. It's not enough. See, because you still got doubt. And you might say, oh, no, I got no doubt. I'm, a lot of scenes, they're worshiping Krishna. And as soon as you meet a real devotee, you find out that you got doubt. Isn't that amazing? How do you find out? Well, they know the real Satchidananda form of Krishna, which is the true Krishna. There ain't anything else real. Isn't that true Krishna? Satchidananda. He's ecstatic. Ananda. And he's very truthful. Conclusively truthful. Hey, you meet a real devotee like that, they're empowered by that. They're empowered form of Satchidananda. And you may worship, you may have been initiated by Prabhupada. You meet that devotee, you got, who are you? I don't believe in you. Oh, there you go. They're your test to see if you really believe in Krishna, because that's the real Krishna, not a bunch of rules. Okay, that's your beginner, your beginner, guru or follower, neophyte guru, if you're like that. The real devotee is the test. Prabhupada was a test for his godbrothers. That's why he pointed them out. He said, look at the symptoms of neophyte. They can't recognize the real Vaishnava. They're trying to control me, trying to infiltrate and take over. What is this? This is neophyte. This is what almost like a worldly kind of Vaishnavism thing. It's neophyte, third class. Didn't he? He actually said fourth class. As you can read the thing. I want to be a little lenient, I didn't want to, say exactly, because, that to say the godbrothers are fourth class. Ooh. But he points it out. He was empowered form of Satchidananda. He's the test for the world. There are a lot of persons say, oh, I love God. Then you meet the devotee. I hate you. I don't want to be associated with you. You're a sahaja. And now we hear all the time. So I know what it means. I say, neophyte. They don't understand the real form of Krishna. Yeah. See, that's why we preach what we do. You listen here, you learn stuff. You learn what the obstacles are and how to sidestep them and not jump into them. You learn who is a blasphemer, really. There are a lot of blasphemers in Vaishnavism. Blasphemy, you just criticize real devotees because you're actually criticizing Krishna. What's the difference between Satchidananda of a devotee and Satchidananda of Krishna? This is the same Ananda, right? Same conclusive truth, right? Just a little form of it. Krishna is kind of the complete thing, and the devotee is a little. It's all you need is a little thimble of Satchidananda. It's like this nuclear energy. Just a little bit of it is powerful. Your whole life will be transformed. It said one devotee can deliver a whole universe. A little atom. The Lord is, but this is a little thimble of Satchidananda. This devotee is surrendered to me. He knows me. I know him. I only recognize my devotees who recognize Satchidananda. Jaya Satchidananda. Hey, that's it. That's the, Jesus was the test for the Pharisees. Always the devotee is the test. Okay? Pharisees, the world is thinking. They're looking, okay, where are the representative God? Oh, the Pharisees. Oh, let's go to them and we'll get to God. Yeah, and they were going, we're, look at our robes, look at our fastings, look at we read the blah, 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 the verses they're reading, right? Oh, yeah, they're the representatives. See, this is the material Maya. People are trying to be delivered, find God, and they go, oh, Pharisees, they represent the Lord, but they're not really, sort of, but, they can't deliver you. It's beginners. Beginners can't tell who is a real advanced representative of Hari or God or Jesus Christ. And who is kind of just fudging it. The fudgers. The fake it till you make it ones. Isn't that what it is? Isn't that religion? We're faking it till we make it. They actually taught that. I remember they were teaching the guru. Well, as the guru advances, you'll advance. Well, it's sort of like that, but not. You got to start. See, you got to be perfect first. You know what perfection is? You're deeply attached to Krishna. Okay? So, or even you're born again by the mercy of a real spiritual master, by their association, your faith in them and their teachings. Okay? Then you have a spiritual rebirth. Now you're perfect. Okay? But then you just keep cultivating and practicing. What happens? And now you're more perfect. And you practice more, and every day you're more perfect. It never stops. But you got to be perfect first. And that, well, I'm perfect in the rules I follow, and I never miss a fast, a Kadasi, and I never miss a Manglartik. I'm perfect like that? No, 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 no. Perfect means you're attached to Krishna. You get the mercy. You could be a retard, and you come into the association of a real devotee who's realized Krishna and is such an Ananda manifestation in this world and is the warden to take you out of this prison. That's what they are, is a transcendental warden, a policeman. Yeah, and you can be a retard. You associate with them, you have faith in them, all of a sudden you get real intelligence. Your real intelligence is faith in a devotee because you'll become ananda, ecstatic, and you get perfect, nice realizations. And then all these really so-called smart guys, the fake it till you make it ones, who end up wanting, they want to be gurus, and they become, those says, oh, you want to become guru? Well, let's make you a guru. Why not? I can use people like you. I got a lot of neophytes. They can't tell the difference anyway. And if they see my real devotees, they'll run the other way. So let's get them into the game a little bit so we can use some of you guys too. And that's why that's happening. And that's okay. Neophyte gurus, neophyte followers. It's okay. No problem. Neophyte pure devotees, a lot of them are very, dedicated to Krishna too. They give their whole life. Yeah. So you're on your way, man. You want to make it in this life? Come listen to this preaching. Try 30 days and may change, revolution your whole life. One class is usually better than 40 years of what you learned from a person who hasn't realized the Lord. It's that powerful. Actually, one paragraph is better than unrealized teachings from a living person that is not alive yet. You're not alive until you're accepted by Krishna and used by that Lord. Transcendental Krishna, not mode of goodness Krishna, mode of passion Krishna, mode of ignorance. Those modes. No, Modi stuff here. We'll finish the verse and then we'll go to sleep. Or I will. How about you? So probably, I got to force myself to stay up another hour.
No, I won't do that anymore.
Yeah. I'm actually getting hungry again.
Hurry up and go to sleep.
No, hurry up and go to sleep before I get too hungry and I'm going to eat again. Yeah. All right. So we'll complete the verse and stop here. Yeah. So without doubt, completely surrendering to the Lord. See, that's what it's all about. And that is it's so sweet when you're worshiping in that surrender because of attachment and you surrender, it's very ecstatic to surrender to God. It's very unecstatic to surrender to people who are cheating you. That's why you see all the people are really miserable now. Because people are miserable. The ones they're following are miserable wretches. I mean, they're full of hate and anger, these revenge, and they want to punish Trump. This and not what is the guy who's done? I mean, okay, he's got a big kind of pride and stuff, but hey, man, who's perfect? He says funny things. Yeah, but the people that are trying to get the world so that they win and everybody becomes a slave and everything, they're miserable by engaging in that. They're an illusion, and the people that believe them are miserable too. Yeah. Everybody is miserable. Like I was miserable just looking at it. Today I was before I did this, I was looking at all this on this Pelosi thing, and she's we're gonna impeach that Trump and get rid of it. I listened to that and I was like, I felt like, oh God, what a miserable. Just listening to this was making me miserable. And I said, we got to chant something. I'm sick of looking at this shit. What a life, man. You consider people as enemies and friends, and they're your brothers, man. Both parties, they're fighting each other and miserable. Making each other miserable. You know why? It's called offenses. You're against God by being against your brothers and sisters like that. And it causes an offense and it darkens your mind and consciousness. So, you even look at that. It's like, I'm not, I just kind of look at it, check it out, learn something, I guess. And I learned this. It's like, hey, man, let me chant Hare Krishna and let me pay attention there and be happy. And they can do the same thing. Anybody can do it. In association of devotees, it becomes quickly effective and you're attached very easy to the Lord. Then you want to chant. Otherwise it's more real, the world of illusion. It's very easy, matter of fact, you're thinking about it so much. You need to be around real attached devotees, attached to the transcendental form of Krishna. You need to be around them, to help you. Otherwise, people are really attached to persons in the modes of nature. And that includes a guru. If a guru hasn't realized Krishna and you're attached to them, well, ultimately you have to see that attachment is holding you back because they're mundane still. They're not born again, and there's some hypocrisy. What is this? I get people coming here. I have this students and disciples who come from, having gurus before, and I see how it is. They see how it is. They see their attachment was like, why am I attached to that? The person's hard, and mean, because they can't help it. They're sincere, the gurus and sannyas, many very sincere, but they can't get rid of the hard heart. See, they have to also associate with devotees who have truly realized Krishna. And then the heart will awaken. Their sins will be, their offenses will be forgiven and forgotten, just simply by acknowledging and giving respect to who the Lord sends in this world. That's how it is. That's why those 11 persons became saints, even though they were tax collectors and fishermen, because they gave respect and honor to the person that God actually sent here. The transcendental Lord was sent here to deliver them by giving them attachment to worshiping God. Transcendental attachment. They went from worshiping the Lord once a week or once a month to worshiping every day because they woke up early. They worshiped the Lord in the morning, and then they worship the Lord again in the afternoon together because of attachment. Okay? Yeah, so I think we finished there. So without doubt, completely, unto me, as much as you can know, try to hear. See? So try to hear. So you got to hear from the representatives of Krishna. For Arjuna, that was him. That was Krishna himself. Okay? And so it increased his attachment. Okay? So and to the point where he loved to hear the truth from the mouth of Krishna. And that's how it is. When you get a bona fide guru, as you're getting purified, you'll like to hear the word that they speak, because the guru likes to hear the word they speak. You'll like to hear their chanting because they like to hear their chanting. Their chanting gets them ecstatic. Their vibration gets them. What do you think it is? Charity begins at home. What is this baloney? Oh, that's not very humble. Oh, that's false prestige. No, it's the truth. Bottom line is the devotee is chanting Hare Krishna, right? Is there chanting? A devotee chants Hare Krishna and he becomes ecstatic because of his own voice. Why wouldn't you want to hear a voice? If I want to hear my own voice because it makes me ecstatic, I guess Krishna must have accepted it. Even I know. I don't think I'm anything special, but all I know is when I chant, the tears start to come, the happiness, the ecstasy. The Lord appears in my heart, and then I'm not just emptily like in Krishna, but where is he? Oh, he's in here now. Oh, I like that spirit. You want to get it? Come listen to these teachings. The Lord shows me these kind of things. Therefore, I show people who are friendly here. You don't come here like then I have to, think, well, Jesus was right. Don't cast your food before swine and food before dogs. That's all right. We don't go with that. That was 2,000 years ago. But it still happens here. It's like, oh, you wonder why the devotees start, let's go somewhere else. Let's go private and do our worship. Okay, so thank you very much, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow, bright and early.
A couple hours.
It's only a couple hours. Oh, well. Who's counting? Yeah. Okay, my friends, Haribo. Hare Krishna.
I feel so fortunate because ever since I started hearing, I never didn't want to hear. I never wanted to not hear.
Yeah.
I always want to hear. What?
I noticed that. Yeah, it always wants to hear.
Yeah. Thank you, Krishna.
Yeah, me too. I always want to hear too.
I always want to hear. It's like I bought a one-way ticket 3.5 years ago to the UK. Remember, I bought a one-way ticket to UK.
Yeah, wow.
I've only ever bought one-way tickets with you.
Yeah. Me too. Yeah, one way is the best, and you're not locked into anything.
Yeah, but it's a one-way trip. I mean, you step into transcendental life. It's one way. You can't go back. You cannot go back.
No.
You can't.
Yeah.
Once Krishna takes you to a certain place, you can't go back.
Yeah, that's how it is, man.
You don't even want to. Because you remember.
Yeah, especially now. Who the heck wants to go back to this? This is a wake-up call, man. It's like, let's get out of this kind of situation.
Yeah, I talked to my daughter a little bit. Sham called and they were doing something. She's hearing everything you're hearing. She's like, I'm at Costco right now. I'm loading it up. We're getting ready for this martial law, And she said, Mom, she says, nobody's here. Nobody gets it. Why are they not hearing this?
Oh, yeah. Ready for the...
my daughter's out shopping because 2 days. She says, martial law, we could be shut down in 2 days, Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. She goes, but nobody else is hearing it. She says the stores are empty. She says, I'm going to the bank. I got to pull out. And I said, She says, nobody's here.
Nobody's here. Yeah.
I said, wow, we're lucky.
They're actually, it's just becoming more real. They just got a report that now there's going to be protests, or they envision protests in all the cities at the capitals. I
believe that.
And actually in Washington, D.C., they're going to have 20,000 soldiers there. In just Washington. So we don't know. It's like you got to stay in the moment with this stuff. You don't know.
That's what I told her.
So like we're seeing that. It's just gradually, it's just Krishna just puts us like, because some people say this and it doesn't work out. It's just all this speculation.
Yeah, but I'd rather be prepared than not.
Yeah, a little prepared. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, pulled out a few bucks, and I got a lot of canned food in case.
We've got
water.
Food. We've got.
Yeah.
She says, Mom, I'm even preparing that if they turn off our electricity.
Yeah, they may. Yeah.
And she goes, I have a can opener and we have canned food. She says, I'm already preparing the kids.
Yeah.
We're getting water set aside. She says, we have a bunch of buckets. We're just going to fill them all with water with a drop of Clorox. Yeah. That's our cleaning water, you guys.
You go. Yeah,
you don't waste a drop. You do, So, wow, you're pretty good.
Tell them to get a generator, too.
Oh, they already have.
They have a generator.
Oh, yeah. Ron.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he's got all that.
He has to have all that. He can't work now. They shut him down.
Really?
Oh, yeah. He can't even go to work.
Really? When he was building those...
he does everything. He does all kinds of stuff.
They shut him down, huh? They don't want to...
Yep. No industry. She says, I don't get this, Mom.
Well, how's he supposed to make money?
He doesn't. He figures out other ways,
Yeah.
But
Isn't that amazing? See, they're really busting everything. So anyway, here's one. This is, you ready to get out, anybody? Come hang out with devotees. And the more advanced, the better. And advanced devotee is just look for the symptoms. Advanced devotees have ecstatic love of God. They have, they're deeply attached to the transcendental name, form, pastimes of the Lord. You know, whether they're Christians or Ram disciples, Ram followers, bhaktas. See, bhakta, they have to have bhakti. If they have real bhakti, pure prema, then they have a real relationship with the Lord, and it'll become real for you. You know, and that's the essence. Otherwise, this is in front of us. This world is becoming draconian. It's turned on us. Now we're in the persecution phase of, just like when the pastimes with Kamsa and Hiranyakashipu, when the demons start to come out, they start to persecute. And that's what's happening now. They're persecuting. You see, becoming, all of a sudden they were just nice and everything, and all of a sudden, you know, hey, you get in that house, man. Number 5 lockdown. Number 5 in UK. You know, they can't do nothing. And then California too now. Huh? They do this lot.
She said it's not as bad as.
Yeah, it's not as bad, but
it can be, but
and it probably will. Worse. They're just getting there. Anyway, this is way out. Come to Sadhu Sangha and you'll be happy. Put a smile on your face. Yeah. Okay, Hare Krishna, everybody. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you, Padma Garba, also, and everybody else.